Hey everybody, Andrew here. If you don't know who I am, I'm Andrew Levine, the Content Director for Steemit. I'm basically in charge of overseeing the production or producing all external communications for Steemit. And today I want to talk about tomorrow's Steem Blast, which was organized by the user and the witness and personal friend, Tim Cliff, who has just done as much as anyone to advance the cause of the Steem blockchain. And so leading into this event, I just wanted to lend my thoughts and share my experiences advocating for Steem blockchain adoption over the course of the last 2 years. I've probably pitched the Steem blockchain 1,000 times, and I've really seen what works, what doesn't work, what makes it compelling, and what doesn't. I know that tomorrow's angle is advocating for investment in the Steem token. But I think those two things are very interrelated. And going in to this event tomorrow, I encourage people to bear that in mind, that the value of Steem as an investment, I think, comes down to the value of the protocol with respect to entrepreneurs and developers. And that what sets Steem apart from the competition is just how useful it is and just how good it is at helping developers and entrepreneurs to get their jobs done. And maybe there's some education that needs to be done with respect to what makes these tokens investment vehicles that you should be interested in, and what type of investment vehicles these are, because they're really fundamentally different than anything that came before it. The real innovation behind Bitcoin, I would argue, is that for the first time in history, it enabled people to inject capital directly into a technology and invest directly into a technology that they thought was going to make the world better, because it was going to enable better products and services. It was going to enable developers to build their products and services faster. It would enable entrepreneurs to make their businesses more efficient, to return more value to their customers, to their investors. And before that, if you thought that there was a particularly promising technology, you would have to find a proxy that you could invest your capital in. If you thought that the internet was going to be huge one day, you would invest in a company like Amazon, who was building something on top of the internet. If you believed in the potential for electric mobility, you would invest in Tesla Motors, which is building a product on top of that technology. And so, but you couldn't invest directly in the technology itself. And so that's what changed with Bitcoin. And so that being the case, then the question becomes, well, which one of these technologies do you want to invest in? And I would argue that when you're looking at where you want to allocate your capital, you want to put it someplace where it's going to appreciate in value. And so logically, it follows that would occur in the most valuable protocol, the protocol that is going to see the most widespread use. And then at the same time, you want to invest in a token that is very well architected so that use of the protocol translates directly into use of the token. And now it's pretty much impossible to investigate every token economic structure. And so one of the advantages I think Steem holds there is that it's been around a long time. We have thousands of eyeballs investigating our code, looking at how our token is designed, and there's just no argument that the token is distributed based on open and transparent rules and has been operating as it should for over 2 years. And so that is a great opportunity for investors, because you see all of these applications running, all of these users using the application sending one another this token and receiving the token that is autonomously produced and distributed by the protocol itself. And so you can watch it working, and you can talk to people who have been involved in this system for years. And then I think the next most important element is encouraging investors to look into the protocols themselves and ask themselves whether the products and services that are currently being offered by these protocols, the applications that exist in the present that leverage these technologies, do they think that those products and services are valuable, and are they interested in using any of these applications? Because look, Ethereum has been operating for years now. They're eager to promote the fact that they have many applications running on their blockchain, and that's fine. You can base your investment decisions purely on a number that's offered by a biased source, or you can actually look at the products yourself and evaluate whether you think they have any real users or whether they provide any value to themselves. And of course, what they will find there is that there are no applications, even running on a protocol that's been around as long as Ethereum, that has any real users today. And look at the amount of capital that is invested in these applications. Look at something like Bancor, which has hundreds of millions of dollars invested in it, and maybe 400 people using it a day, and maybe tell them about the fact that you can't even trust that those 400 people are separate people. It could be one person with 400 accounts. And so if there's $100 million invested in this product that has no users, what do they think is going to happen to their investment? Do they think that thing's is overvalued or undervalued? And then I encourage them to, and then let's encourage them to go to something like steemprojects.com and look at all of the applications that are currently using the Steem blockchain, that are currently rendering products and services with thousands of people using them every day. Applications like DLive, DTube, Utopian, Fundition, SteamPeak, Busy.org, and engage with those users and look at the services that these people are rendering with effectively MVPs. These are early projects by, frankly, amateur teams. I mean, I don't mean that as a knock. These are often people who have had other jobs, whose main occupation isn't even a developer, many of whom certainly have no blockchain development experience, and yet we have all of these applications that real people are using every day that are growing rapidly, and the Steem ecosystem continues to grow, and applications continue to go online every day that leverage this technology. And so with the Steem token, what people have is an opportunity to invest in a technology that is growing rapidly, that is being used, that is battle tested, that is open and transparent. And this is one of the things that I think really separates cryptocurrencies from other investment vehicles, because that's really what we're advocating for here. We're encouraging people to allocate capital to something new and something different. And so people have an opportunity here to invest in a technology, and not just that, but an open source technology, a technology that everybody is looking at. One of the key philosophical underpinnings of the open source movement is the belief that attacks are a good thing, that opening yourself up to lots of attacks every day, to inviting hackers to attack your code and to try to break your system is a good thing, because it forces you to fix everything that's broken. First of all, it gives you valuable information. It enables you to learn what the holes are in your system, and it enables you to patch those holes. And a good system actually incentivizes that, and Steem incentivizes people to look for holes. And so with the Steem token, investors don't just have an opportunity to invest in a technology that is already delivering tons of value to entrepreneurs and developers, and consumers all over the world. But they can also invest in something that is being attacked every day and surviving, that has lasted 2 years while remaining open, which also means that you can look at every part of it, right? You invest in Tesla, which I am, so I'm not knocking Tesla, but you're taking their word on their technology. And because it's closed, not only are you taking their word, but they're losing out on the valuable information they would get from having many eyeballs of all types, attackers, friends, foes, looking at that code and trying to poke holes in it. And so obviously I'm not saying you shouldn't invest in Tesla Motors, but what I am saying is that this is a very different investment opportunity, a very good diversification opportunity, as you can invest in something whose value proposition is fundamentally different than the other options out there. And so with that, I think the thought I want to end on is that we don't invest in cryptocurrencies because they're a get-rich-quick scheme. We invest in them because they're an opportunity to invest in a more open, decentralized, and free future for humanity. Who doesn't want a more open future, a more free future, and a more decentralized future? Do you want more and more power, more and more money wrapped up in the hands of fewer and fewer individuals? Or do you want that spread out among everyone? Because that's what we do with decentralization. We take something that a limited number of people are delivering to the community. We take a product or service that they're effectively monopolizing, and without taking up arms, without committing any forms of violence, we decentralize that product or service, and we enable anybody to participate in the wealth. And so people should bear that in mind as they do their own research. But I believe that when they look at the landscape, when they look at the protocols out there, when they look at the applications that are actually operating, what they will come away with is the understanding that no protocol is delivering more value and has more potential to deliver orders of magnitude more value than the Steem blockchain. Good luck tomorrow, everyone.